Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
All right. Welcome back. It's Fit Nation. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the Misfit Nation. If you are a veteran and you're struggling or feel like you're leading towards a path of darkness, stop and think about those who are around you. Think about how they truly value you, how they will miss you. You are not alone. You need to talk to someone. Someone will listen to you. If you feel like your inner circle or your family you'll be embarrassed to tell them or you'll be a burden to them, call the anonymous hotline at 1-800-273-8255. And of course, if you're a veteran, press option 1. They will get you the help you need. Do not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to our show on your favorite apps, to include the Military Broadcast Radio app, and check out our family of shows there. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at _Misfit Nation. It's _Misfit Nation. This will keep you up to date with all our latest news, episodes, and of course, the stories of our guests. Speaking of which, our next guest helps brands and content creators turn their influence into income. He is a dad of 2 beautiful kids, a husband of 1 kick-ass wife, an investor, built multi-million apps and software. He is a servant leader, a proud United States Air Force combat veteran. He is a gamer. He's aggressively curious. Along with his team, they proudly develop technology that customers recommend, entrepreneurs prefer, and partners are proud of. Their latest project, TrueFanz, just surpassed 187,000 global users. The platform empowers a wide variety of content creators to earn residual and predictable income for their creative work online. So without further ado, let's welcome Air Force veteran Tim Branyan to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. I feel like this is my community, so hope to be of value, and I'm excited to have the conversation, man.
It's a brotherhood we have here, brotherhood, sisterhood. We bring all veterans get a top priority here on the Misfit Nation, of course, to share their story and share what they're doing outside of the boots and suits. When they hung up the uniform, what did they do? How did they continue to give back to their country as a servant leader, as your bio says, and of course, as an entrepreneur as you are now. If you don't mind, Tim, if you could give us a little bit of your backstory from as far back as you want to go to the whirlwind to how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So again, my name's Tim Branyan. My story really starts at restlessness and discontent. I grew up in a small blue collar town in Kokomo, Indiana, and I was hanging around people that weren't really going anywhere fast. I was one of those people that was just kind of living, waffling in life, chasing the party scene, chasing chicks, chasing alcohol, and no real direction in my life. And it wasn't until I hit a point that actually, I'll just tell the brutal truth. I ran from the cops. I just turned 18 years old, and I got caught. And that led me in a 24-hour holding tank where I had to call my dad. And that was the lowest point of my life, where I called my dad and told him, hey, I screwed up. And he actually bailed me out. And we didn't have a lot of money growing up. My dad, he drove all the way down there and picked me up and didn't say a word to me on the way home, which hurt worse than like any lashing. I almost wish that I got, scolded or yelled at. He didn't say it. He was just disappointed, genuinely. And I felt that. And that was the first moment in my life that I knew I needed to change. I always felt like I was going to do great things. And I knew I was a good person. I just wasn't making good choices. So for me, it was very simple. I looked around and was like, okay, these guys that just graduated high school, they went to college, and I was doing observance. I was doing reconnaissance. The guys that came back from the military looked like they had lost some weight. They stood differently. They had a truck. They had money. They could actually buy a beer at the bar. And then the guys that I knew that were just going to college, no offense to college or that route, but they weren't going anywhere really. They didn't have a lot of direction. It didn't seem like a whole lot of change, maybe some more weight that they had put on. And so I asked some questions. I decided to join and enlist. And really early on, my enlistment was selfish. I was looking at what was in it for me. I was looking at the benefits and how much I could get paid, and am I going to go to war? Am I not going to war? I was being tactical with the decision. It wasn't, something admirable. I wish it was. I wish I was one of those dudes that was like, hell yeah, I'm going to fight for my country and this and that. But it definitely didn't start that way. When I got in, however, it was the best decision that I ever made. I had a lot to lose at that point. I felt like I was a part of, for the first time, I was playing a position in the mission, and I had a lot of pride in who I was surrounded by and what I was a part of. And I just had this deep desire to win and succeed. And it just kind of, blossomed these characteristics that I'm still proud to have today. Anyway, long story short, I I deployed every 6 months. I was security forces, so MP or Master at Arms, whatever that is, to whatever branch of service some of the folks are that are listening. And from there, that transition into DoD contracting. The military was this thing that was good for a short time, not a long time for me. I saw the end of the rope, and I was like, okay, I want to do something different. Got to college, super burnout. Was like, I got to get out of here. Went and did contracting. I heard that the money was amazing, and that's ultimately where my entrepreneurial, journey started. Was I was a contractor, and it's true what they say. You can make a lot of money doing it, but after 3 years living on the go and in Groundhog's Day, doing the same thing over again, really making a lot of money, but not living a really good life. If that makes sense. I was trading time for money. I became obsessed with like, okay, what is true freedom? What is wealth to me? Where am I going to get joy? What are these things that matter? And I did another audit of my life. And again, restlessness and discontent have always been the start to change for me. So I wrote everything down in a little green book, and it was things like a hot dog stand, a tater tot stand, a franchise, a hookah bar, a bar, you name it. I was like game planning and being strategic. None of those made sense as much as apps and technology did to me. I had a high level of belief, no formal education, no experience. I just thought I could do this. If this guy can do it, the guy that was inspiring, so can I. I have failed for more money than what most people have invested in themselves in a business. And I have failed enthusiastically throughout that time. And I've had some big wins now, and I'm still a student of the game. I'm really excited for where we're at now as far as just this one platform and others and what we're doing in the tech space. And, now my new mission is to build a brand and give a lot of shit away. I feel like I've got a lot of systems and processes and ideas and ways that we've bootstrapped, and I hope to be a servant. I almost feel like it's my responsibility. As weird as that may sound, it is my response to my ability to help other people. And in this niche specifically, like military vets, like these people are very near and dear to me. And I am confident, like very much confident, that we are supposed to be leading. And we are supposed to be on this new forefront, or in this forefront of service through exchange of goods, services, products, etc. We're really damn good at it because we're good at solving problems in most cases. So, yeah, that's kind of the quick story.
That's a good journey. I can imagine the mind, how your mind was racing when Dad was coming to pick you up at a clink there, and well, he's gonna make me run behind the car all the way home, or he's gonna yell at me the whole way home, but then to sit in silence, that was even worse. It's like I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed, but without saying it, the whole ride home.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible, dude. I wanted to cry the whole way home and frog in my throat. I knew that I had disappointed him. I knew I made a mistake, and I knew I wasn't making him proud, which was even worse. I was a dog with my tail between my legs, man, truly. But that was what I needed. I needed that motivation to start thinking and planning on, okay, what's next? Fortunately, I didn't shrink and just woe is me. I was like, okay, how do I solve this? How do I do what's right?
Right. Because that definitely could have went into a different direction, a snowball into worse things could have happened, which a lot of people do. They get in trouble at one time, and they think they're supposed to stay in trouble forever and keep doing it, and they never come out of it. You took it as the light at the end of the tunnel, saying, hey, it's time to wake up and let's smell that coffee and do stuff. And you started seeing things around you and made that decision to join the Air Force and move forward.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of stories, I almost served, or I almost did this, that, and the other. And your decisions decide your destiny. At every phase of life, we are literally a result of the decisions that we make every day. And you can make decisions that prosper you or and refine you, or you can decide to define yourself some way else. And fortunately, I've just, maybe I'm stubborn, Maybe I'm scrappy. I don't know, but I've always just felt compelled not to get crushed by life. And I've always felt like where there's a will, there's a way, man. And hopefully I'm inspiring to other people that maybe feel the opposite way, or maybe shrink when shit gets tough.
You're showing that there's a better way to do things, and stand up if you fall down, get back up. That's what people judge you on, how many times you get up, not how many times you fall down. We all have fallen down in our lives. It's how many times we stand back up and brush ourselves off and move forward and say, hey, look, I can do this better. And you're a self-taught tech guy now. You're in the tech space, which is a pretty competitive space, and you're doing well. You spoke earlier about bootstrapping. A lot of our listeners are getting out of the military and wanting to start that new business. How can that help them as they move forward? Or what tips can you give them on bootstrapping to get that business going without being in debt?
So firstly, this is like the fun part of business when you're brand new in it, and you're building your website, you're picking your logo, you're choosing your colors, you're deciding what your team's about, what services you're going to provide. I think the first thing is important is to find out who you're going to serve. Who is your ideal person? What are they experiencing? It's all about, it's again about service. You're paid in direct proportion to your ability to solve problems, and you will be paid very well if you earn testimonials and you earn recommendations. And so I think the first thing I could help advise somebody to do is get very clear on who it is that you want to help. And I think focusing on what sucks in their life, or what sucks currently at their job or at their office, or whatever's going on that's not fun for them, put yourself in their shoes. And then that'll help you tactically create situations to solve those problems while saving your energy and your time and creating a good, profit margin for that exchange. But early on, there's probably so many different types of business people on here. So I'll just take like one use case for like a simple tip. If you're just now starting out and everybody's got a warm market, you probably don't have this huge book of business, you probably don't have a whole lot of money or bankroll to like start putting oxygen on the flames, if you will. One of the best recommendations I can give is go out and do shit for free. Now, with a caveat. So like, let's say that you're a pressure washing company. Okay, cool. You got all your equipment, you got your t-shirt, tuck it in. You should go to every single one of your warm list people and say, hey, John, I'm starting my pressure washing business. If I do a really damn good job on your sidewalk, will you post the before and afters with me on your social media and just tag me? That's all I want, dude. Just I need to build my portfolio. I need to get some referrals going. Before that, obviously have your foundation set up, like have your website the best of your ability. If you don't know how to get a website, go to Google My Business and they'll create one for you for free. business.google.com. You can create your listing and then get a free website essentially. But yeah, so I would ask people to do something for them in exchange. Hey, if I mow your lawn and do a really good job, would you recommend me to your friends? And then get that picture. Everybody at minimum has 500 friends on Facebook or Instagram, or so if you do that 30 times with your buddies, you do the math. I'm not good at math. I need the calculator. It's 30 times 500.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And,
like 15,000.
And that will put right. That could potentially create some referrals coming back, and then you put your little sign in their yard. So that's one recommendation. A way to create some track. Now it's scary. The hardest thing is to ask and to go get new clients. But the only reason it's hard is because you have a lack of faith in your ability to do a kick-ass job. And that's something that you either need to fix your product or fix your mindset on who you are.
Definitely. And know, like you said earlier, know who you're trying to help and what problem they need solved. What can you solve for them to make them have a better life or a better day or whatever. And that's kind of what you're doing. And then when you have that inner circle and outer circle of friends that you can just go and do the warm, hey, just post and tag. If they are truly your inner and outer circle, they're going to do that for you. And their inner and outer circle should do the same and share. Like you said, before you know it, you have 15,000 people looking at your business saying, hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe I want to invest in that.
Yeah, and most veterans are awesome people that want to do a really good job. And the truth is, most of them, I would say, I don't know the stats, but most of them, I believe, would do a really great job. And the challenge, the hardest part becomes getting those new customers, the strategy to go door knock, the strategy to go tell people that this is what I do. This is why these are the results you can expect. That becomes a challenge, but the information's out there. Adapt and overcome, right? So that one strategy that I gave is somewhere where I would start, and that's where you're getting your reps in. That's where you're starting to get your name out. This is for like brand new people. Things get advance as you advance in your business. But for those early starters, I think that's a great place to get some reps in, get your feet wet, get some exposure, start becoming the logical choice in your geographic area. And people know that you're the dude that does, or chick, whatever you are, that does this thing. That'll only help you out.
You're the best person at that widget dance that you do. And that's the person you want around you.
You're the Bob Vila.
Yeah, you are the Bob. Yes. You mentioned power washing in our neighborhood. The last couple of days has been a truck, veteran-owned, men in kilts window washing, and
perfect.
They had two different houses that they worked on, and as they're done with that house, they go door to door and knock and give you a coupon, $25 off. And there are big dudes wearing kilts, and it's kind of freaky. It says no peeking.
Wow, so they're wearing kilts, like
yeah,
seriously?
Actually wearing kilts.
That's awesome.
And they're pressure washing driveways and cleaning houses and windows. So that's good on you, man. It's a good business. Stay with it.
Now that's some virality. You just hope that there's no like high winds that day,
Yeah.
Got two dudes on.
Yeah, two big dudes on the ladder. No peeking. Remember.
That's awesome, dude. Cool.
So you went from being a security force. I mean, the Air Force has all kinds of technical jobs you could have switched into, but you went to a frontline position with security forces where you, like you said, you deployed every 6 months or so to rotate out with your other teammates out there. And then came out and became a tech guy. So a lot of people go the opposite way, go tech and come out. I want to be a contractor and go shoot people. No, you went the opposite way. I'm going to go the opposite direction. What made you decide tech is the way to go?
Yeah, so I was on the first thing leaving my hometown. That's why security forces and MP was the thing that I got into, and I'm so thankful that I did. I wouldn't change anything about my military career. That being said, there's definitely different jobs, right? In the Air Force that may have been more comfortable, but so I chose tech specifically because the low starting costs. At least, early on, it was like, okay, I can launch an app for 15 to 50 grand, around that range, like a minimum sellable product. I could have a global business that people could transact with all over the world, potentially depending on the service. I didn't want to manage a lot of employees or overhead or different infrastructure or logistics. I'm not the best with math. I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. So it was like, okay, how can I make, at the time it was, how do I make, $10,000 a month and own my time? So apps and technology, digital real estate just made a lot more sense than some of the other business ideas that I was writing down based on my ideal freedom. When I'm talking to different entrepreneurs and people, I always have them identify, what is your freedom number? What does that look like for you and your economy and your ideal life unlimited, your idea of wealth, and then you can get strategic and planning what makes sense for you. But for me, it was just that primitive. It was like, okay, some of those key things that I mentioned, that was it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I would have went with the tater tot stand you mentioned earlier. I like tater tots, but I mean, you must like them too. That's why you wrote them down. Tater tots are everyone's favorite.
Tim's tots.
Tim's tots. Yeah. You just put them in your pocket, go to school like Napoleon Dynamite, and have a good day at school.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Some of the best things ever happened with tater tots. And now your team has moved on, and you made TrueFanz. Tell us a little bit about TrueFanz.
Yeah, so TrueFanz started with the same way that most of our other platforms start, we do reconnaissance, or we have our eyes and ears open to see what sucks, what's not working, what's unfun in different industries. And then we come up with solutions. So we saw that creators, specifically like content creators, have been historically underpaid and undervalued. Their data is being sold. Their freedom of opinion is being suppressed or canceled. Dialogue is being removed. These are things that are happening right now still that I'm not a fan of. And then, we looked at our competitors. We saw the 10,000-pound gorillas in the room, what they were doing, what they weren't doing. And we thought we could be the logical choice. We thought we could stand out and create an offer that would be better. So that included, I'm looking at things that suck, but then I'm also looking at competitors, and I'm trying to figure out how do we stack our offer so somebody wants to come over to us, and why we're the logical choice, right? So some of those things where we created a platform that's 100% invite only. It's not open to the general public. They have to be invited. So, and we talked about this already, Rich. I was telling you, if anybody wants to join, they're going to have to go through you, and you're the gatekeeper. You're the barrier to that entry. But some of the other things where we pay more, we pay faster. We just launched instant payments, so there's no minimums, no maximums on when you make your money, you can take it out whenever the hell you want, which is a really cool feature that a lot of people like. We have additional features and functionality that nobody else has in our market. Things like live streaming, mass messaging with filter options. We're launching an NFT project, which allows people to very easily syndicate or broadcast their own NFT. And the biggest thing is we don't allow porn. So we're a platform that is the wholesome alternative to some of our competitors. And we became a home very quickly for folks that would love to have a membership site or a fan site, but they don't want the stigma associated with the adult industry. So, we've got nonprofits on our platform. We've got models and pretty girls, but they're not in that industry. They're, typically really pretty girls that do cool shit, like drive monster trucks or shoot guns or, archery, hunting, you name it. We are a platform that helps content creators get paid to post and ultimately manage their communities without limitations of reach, without limitations of their freedoms. And we're proud about those things.
It sounds like an outstanding plan, and I'd love to see these models that drive monster trucks and shoot, maybe at the same time. That'd be good. And dude, if they're accurate, that's outstanding.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing. We've got people that do what's it called, competition shooting. We've got folks that drive big diesel trucks, huge semis. It's the craziest thing. There's girls in the agriculture industry that are planting, farming, doing cattle, like cowgirls, like legit cow. It's just like, I learned so much, like meeting these people. Right. It's been honestly like a super rewarding part of it. It's just building the relationships and helping them kind of turn their switch. A lot of creators are creators. They're not really entrepreneurs or hybrid of creator entrepreneurs. When they get into our world, and we do strategy calls with them and stuff, we really help them, number one, define their brand, to flip the switch on harnessing the power of their influence, and turning like social media notifications into bank notifications, right, through a multitude of different ways, and that helps them fund the thing that they do. So it's just been really cool to serve, kind of be the geek or the agency in that component.
The gatekeeper will call you instead of geek and agency. The gatekeeper. And I mean, I'm sure you get other ideas watching these things you've probably never seen before. Some of these things that you never thought they would actually be on a platform like you have now. So now you get to open your eyes and, wow, that's an awesome thing. I want to go check that out someday in person. So that's pretty awesome. So like for the Misfit Nation, the podcaster, how would TrueFanz work for the podcast?
Right. So it works the same. I can kind of explain it like for a podcaster, but then it'll work the same or similar to a lot of different user profiles, whether it's a musician, a chef, an artist of whatever sort. So a podcaster, right? Like we talked before this started, at least 5%, 10% of this podcast was you and I just having our own dialogue and talking about various things, getting to know each other. Something like that could be inner circle for your true supporters, your true fans of the Misfit Nation. They get to see maybe the first 5 questions that you ask before we go live to the public.
Okay.
And then maybe they get to see the last 5 questions that you ask me afterwards, or there's some sort of strategy where we deep dive or we talk about things that we're working on. Maybe like the more cocktail lounge, questions and such, cigar lounge type talk. So that's one area. It's really about doing and giving away what you're already giving away, and then saving your favorites, or saving the most, the best content for your inner circle.
Like the deep cuts for the inner circle.
Yep.
And
so, that could be fitness influencers sharing special recipes. It could be you sharing special merch drops or giveaways that you don't share with anybody else. Like your truest supporters get access to those things first. Maybe it's just simply they get access to your podcast first. The people that are actually rocking with this, and maybe a percentage goes to charity. Whatever you guys are doing, there's so many different ways to allocate content.
Right.
But hopefully some of those kind of shine light on some ideas.
Yeah, definitely. I think that will clear it up for a lot of listeners too, in case they were thinking, "Oh, I have to do the X or X, A, B, or C in order to make money on this." Basically, what you said is you really lay out what you want to put in there and make it work for you based off the strategy calls.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's pretty simple.
It's really
simple.
Yeah, it takes less than 12 minutes or 15 minutes to set up. It's once you gain access, if you're given access to the platform, you sign up, you go through our KYC process, which is a fancy verification acronym. You set up, which is just simply adding the furniture to your house. You add your content, you decide what's pay-per-view, you decide what's in your vault section, you decide, the content that you're going to share internal. And then this third step is promote. You launch your channel to your audiences, and then let people decide, if they want to become inner circle members. And as you continue to develop and grow it, then it becomes a strategy to broadcast that out to your existing networks, and then let people decide if they want to come in or not. You can highlight all the people that are on the inside and give them special options, giveaways. You can highlight their testimonials. And then the strategy for new client acquisition gets, it can get really complex. Early on, it's shout outs. Early on, it's, maybe getting on podcasts with you, right? Like jumping on. But then you can get into PR and getting blue check verified and create systems and run ads, do SEO, all sorts of stuff. It gets wild.
All the fancy acronyms right there.
Yeah.
All the things that make people cringe hearing SEO and everything else on there. Yes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, fun. That's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, if you can give any entrepreneur 3 tips on how to get out of their own way to start their business, what would that be?
You got to have belief. And that's the biggest thing. It's tough to have. I get it. At least I try to understand it. You got to have belief. And that's going to come from the action, like failing enthusiastically. I think if you give yourself permission to fail and learn, like learning it's necessary. Anything that you start brand new, you're going to suck at. Like I guarantee I'm going to look back at these podcasts that I'm doing, because I'm just now starting to build my personal brand, and it's going to make me sick. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, that was the worst guest in the world. I look like such an idiot, whatever. And that's cool. I am okay with failing and not being good on my way to becoming great. And you have to have the same belief. The best advice I can give you is that you should play your music. The world needs it. The world needs you. And it would be a shame if you psych yourself out. I think, a lot of people say middle age is 50. That's bullshit, because nobody's living to be 100. Like the average is 70 something. And I hate to say it's morbid, but it's like, 30 something, 35.
Reality. Yeah.
That's middle age. And if we're talking about the national average. So if that's the case, and a lot of people are apprehensive with fear. So the best advice I can give you is realize or think about what's scarier. Either not taking the chance to build your business and play your music and do your thing, or is it scarier? Option B, being old and looking back and thinking, damn, I should have asked her out. I should have went for it. I should have knocked on that door. I should have built the website. I should have. Screw that. Like, it's, for me personally, I hope it is for everybody else. It is way scarier, the pain of regret, than the fear of, sending it.
Right. The fear of failure it stops a lot of entrepreneurs. It stops a lot of people from everything. The fear of change. If you change, everything's going to go to crap, and my life won't be the same. Or it could get better, and that's what you got to think like.
Hey, I get it. And if you want some excitement, send it, because there's nothing more exciting than fighting through the apprehension and fighting through your own nonsense and your own false beliefs that people are going to judge you, or that somebody's going to say no, or things aren't going to work out. Of course they're not going to work out, but you adapt and fail enthusiastically and thank people for discovering the thing that's going to help your business get better. It's just a different switch. If you're thankful and grateful for everything, it's hard to beat the guy that doesn't quit.
Right.
So
be humble, stay hungry, keep hustling. That's what you got to do.
That's it.
That's it right there. So Tim, this has been a great chat. How does someone get in contact with you to either have you on their show or give them tips, tricks, or advice to move forward in their lives?
Yeah. So you can Google Tim Branyan. I'm literally finishing my website right now. I'm reviewing it. That's what we're talking about before we got on here. So timbranyan.com has my social links. Hopefully they're all working. If they're not, tell me I suck and I'll fix it. And then all my if you just Google Tim Branyan, I'm on there. And then as far as like TrueFanz, if somebody's on here that's a creator that has an audience that's looking to monetize or wants some strategy, or wants specifically to use that platform, I'm going to make sure that you get hooked up on that, and they just need to reach out to you, Rich. And you can decide if you give them a thumbs up or a maybe later. And
Sparta.
Yeah, if I can be of service to other people that are vets that need some help or want to get unstuck, just hit me up on LinkedIn or hit me up through my website or get in touch with me. I'll help you out for free. I don't care. I can't give you all my time, but I'd love to invest and help you, be reasonable with me. But I've got some cool systems and I think I could be a service, and I'd love to see more people win from our cut of cloth, man.
Outstanding. Thanks, Tim, again, for taking some of your time to hang out with the Misfit Nation and share your knowledge and your journey with us.
Heck yeah, man. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Rich.
No problem.
I ain't watching TV today. Bad news, it can just stay away. If you ain't got anything good to say, then shut your mouth. I got my windows down and my blinders on. Radio set to my favorite song. All green lights on the road I'm on, man, there ain't no doubt. I'm getting them good vibes. I'm living this good life. I'm breathing on God's time, and I ain't gonna waste one breath. I'm soaking it all up. I got me a full cup, and there ain't nothing gonna spill it, nothing gonna kill it. Waving them words goodbye. I'm feeling them good vibes. I ain't trying to hear the negative. I'm just trying to change the narrative. It's simply imperative that we all have a damn good time. I'm getting them good vibes. I'm living this good life. I'm breathing on God's time, and I ain't gonna waste one breath. I'm soaking it all up. I got me a full cup, and there ain't nothing gonna spill it, nothing gonna kill it. Waving them words goodbye. I'm feeling them good vibes. Oh, I'm feeling them good vibes. I got a good girl, she got a good smile. I kiss a good morning, I kiss a good night. We keep it on the up, that's how we get down. So don't be coming around unless you got them good vibes. I'm living this good life. I'm breathing on God's time, and I ain't gonna waste one breath. I'm soaking it all up. I got me a full cup,
You know how we do this. Thanks for taking some of your time to spend with us on Fit Nation. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and share the link as much as possible. If you want to, please become a supporter to help us carry this thing on. We appreciate you. If you know someone that brings that energy, has a great story, is an up-and-comer in any industry of music, in the arts, have them reach out to us on themisfitnation.com. We will get back to them within one day and get them on here so they can share their story with the world. As always, till next time, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are Fit Nation.
Where do I turn to when there's no choice to make? And how do I presume when there's so much at stake? I was so sure of it all. What if I need you in my darkest hour? And what if it turns out there is no other? If this is our last hope, we would see a sign. Oh, we would see a sign. Well, I've been running from the ashes we left. Forgiveness begs for itself, but how can I forget when there's a stain on it all? But what if I need you in my darkest hour? And what if it turns